welcome back to another Stay Creative video as I, Amaneris, continue along my quest of discovering various methods to stay creative. Today I'm trying the Emoji challenge, where you generate 3 or more random emojis and use those to create something new. For this particular video, the ground rules I've laid down for myself is that it must be a creature of some kind. So not a tool or a weapon, and definitely not a person. In general, the creature, by the time it's done, should be something more fantasy-based, so not exactly something that could be, or could belong to our current reality, essentially. I do admit I did take a few times to generate emojis I could actually work with, as some of the symbols I didn't recognize or I couldn't mentally envision something out of them. For this first emoji challenge, I got a bull, duckling, and a graduation cap. So thus I started out with some basic, super rough idea sketches as to what came to mind first and what from there. I don't usually start with colors unless I feel that's like a key element that has to be included, so that usually comes later for me. Personally, I feel I myself do not design creatures very well without some form of inspiration or prompts like this particular challenge. Trying to sit down and create creatures from scratch for, let's say, no other reason other than to create them, I can do it, but I struggle immensely, and sometimes I actually can't do it. It just, like, nothing will just come to mind. I admire those of you who can do this all the time. It's absolutely amazing. You guys are amazing. I, however, need help. I need ideas, props, even reverting back to things like mythology or local legends as some kind of groundwork or base. I do remember back in college, one of my first clients was making this, if I remember correctly, it was an adventure hero kind of game. I honestly never actually played it. They hired me. I was a total noob, but I needed the money because college here in the States is downright brutal in costs. Not only are textbooks and supplies usually 3 to 4 times the cost as they are at usually my local craft store or online even, but tuition alone felt as though I had to willingly sacrifice an organ, essentially. Not even the scholarships or the other financial assistance I had could cover the entirety of the cost. But I digress. Compared to many, even if the thought seemed stupid at the time, my tough decisions helped me from being in debt, far, far deeper than what it ended up being. For me, college was necessary because I liked a lot of things back then that other avenues simply could not provide at that time. Anyways, the initial story here was that I was hired to create creatures for this game and had no idea what I was doing. Thank you to this particular client for being an absolute angel, because my art back then was, let's just say, it's a far cry from what it is now. I don't even use the same program anymore. The program I used back then was free, and free isn't always good. So I worked with what I could, but they didn't mind, and well, I needed the money. I created lots of these beasties for this particular client, and while the job itself was actually pretty amazing, the client was amazing. It was hard, and I mean hard. I learned after that creature design was just not my forte at all. I'd get a spark once in a while for maybe like 1 or 2 great ideas. The rest of the time, this head is empty. Nothing rattling about up there but plants, moss, and silly little doodles that usually do not see the light of day. I had other clients during this time as well, including my first monster client, and I mean this in a negative manner. They were mean. And I'm actually putting this very mildly. Their personality was hostile. They were lucky I was desperate for coin in order to pay for college. Because if they tried that stuff on me today and tried to hire me, I'd honestly kick their teeth in. I no longer have the tolerance for such childish behavior from a supposed leader type person, who owns a business. And I also know that they still hate me to this day from 2014 because my account is still up on their game out of sheer childish spite, even though if I remember correctly, anybody like inactive, unused accounts are generally supposed to be deleted, I think after like 60 or 90 days on this particular thing, but yeah, it happens. But like I said, that was 2014. They were lucky I was just desperate. Now, I get to sit back and design random beasties like this bull duckling ready to graduate into adulthood and remain sinfully more adorable than it probably should be. As usual, other than for this particular challenge, this buckling will most likely vanish into the void, as I have no purpose for it after this. But geez, it sure is cute. I mean, look at those eyes. They just nab your soul and never let go. The real challenge I felt for this particular one was how to tie in that graduation hat. The only thing that came to mind was the horns, since, well, it's a hat. I imagined the horns to create that square shape that the graduation caps here have. Or at least, since the emoji was square-shaped. I do feel that overall I captured all the emojis in this particular challenge, but what do you guys think? Do you think I used the emojis well, or maybe there's something I should have changed, done better? Is there a different approach I should have taken? Do let me know in the comments. I'm curious to hear your thoughts. I do feel that next time, if you guys, if there is a next time and you want me to attempt this challenge again, I'll try something a little more complex. It did largely help that for this first time, 2 animals came up in this particular set of emojis. But next time I'll probably aim for something, maybe like just 1 animal, so that way there's some base groundwork, and then the rest can just go ham. I would say that concludes this particular video. This buckling is actually, I don't know, I just keep saying it's pretty cute. It's got to be those eyes. So yeah, this will be the end of the video for this particular challenge. Let me know if you want me to do it again, and until then, if you feel like tossing a coin my way, be sure to check out my Patreon link below in the description, and I will see you guys next time.